second discussion segment, this JPRC week 2025. In case you missed our first segment, please head on over to our YouTube channel at PCEA Mokoyo Church, and you'll find our first initial discussion where we talked about what JPRC is. We talked about our theme, and we talked about some few issues, topical issues. And today, without further ado, we are going to delve into the topics, the topic of the day. And the topic of the day today is conflict. Remember, we said JPRC links individuals to one another, and it's as a group, as a team, JPRC helps us live with cohesion with one another. So what happens in times of conflict? And we are joined by none other than our local expert, our in-house expert, who is our Reverend Karibu.
Thank you.
We are going to define what conflict is, talk about types of conflict and causes of conflict.
Thank you, Vicky. I welcome our viewers again.
Yeah.
And we say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, all of us.
Yeah.
And karibu sana to our talk show this moment. And even as we interact with this very interesting area on conflict. I may define conflict as disagreement or a clash between two parties, where maybe their interests, they cannot agree because of their interests, and they oppose each other. So conflict is where people can lead not two people or two parties. They can also be two nations, cannot agree.
Yeah.
So conflict it can be defined as such, where there is disagreement, there is clash between two parties on ideas, on interests, or anything which can cause a difference between two parties.
All right. So a clash between two parties.
Yes.
Okay. So what causes conflict?
Actually, there are various causes.
Okay.
It cannot be one. One of the causes can be environmental. People can, or two parties can crash because a certain environment. And you realize there are people, they were not meant to differ or to crash. But because they find themselves in a certain environment, they just crash on issues, not because they were not meant to state that they were not meant to have conflict, but they just crash because of an environment. Maybe because of what the environment presents to them. Maybe there is a harsh environment. Maybe the economy is not working, and you find people conflicting because they cannot keep to what the environment is dictating. Another cause of conflict is scarcity of resources. Where there is scarcity, people tend to have conflict as they grab what is there. There is scarcity of maybe money, scarcity of food, water, and when that resource is scarce, people crash. Not because they were meant that they can crash between themselves, but because there is scarcity.
Okay.
People crash. Another thing is about communication, break it down. People cannot understand issues like the proverbial issue of number 9 and number 6. You are seeing it from a different perspective. and maybe it's just communication skill. So that can cause conflict. Another cause is power struggle. I want to be this, and I can view you as a hindrance. You are making me not achieve what I want. So that power struggle brings in conflict.
Okay.
So those are some of the causes that bring about conflict. And yeah.
Okay.
But there are many, but those
are
I think
some
we
of them.
can, those are some of them.
Yeah, so power, resource, communication. And so what that then means is that, as you've explained, then there are conflict arises then from different levels at families for the same reasons, in the community for the same reasons, national level, and even, as we can see right now, on a global perspective as well.
That is
right?
it.
Okay. And now that we've understood what conflicts are and what causes conflicts, maybe, and this is, I think, the bigger flesh of this discussion today, having understood that, what are some of the techniques that can be used to mediate disputes? Because, and this is mostly like in communities, we have, people have a neighborhood community where they live, a professional community where they work, church community where they fellowship, and so on and so forth. So with all those different communities in mind, what are some of the dispute mediation techniques that we can employ as in our day-to-day lives?
Vicky, I think to understand that question better, or to articulate various techniques that we can use in conflict resolution, it's also good to understand there are various types of conflicts.
Yeah.
It's also good to understand that level.
Yes.
One, there is what we call intrapersonal, where a person has a conflict within him or herself. You are struggling over an issue within yourself. You are not able to handle a certain emotion. That's a conflict.
Yeah.
That's a type of conflict which requires a different technique to handle. There is also this issue of interpersonal, where they are relational. You differ with a partner, maybe it's a couple, you differ with your children. That is interpersonal. You differ with a neighbor. You differ with a certain member within an organization. And that also requires a different approach. And when we understand now conflict in those contexts, we can now trickle down or align ourselves on various techniques on dispute resolution. And one of the techniques is dialogue.
Okay.
People talking with each other.
Dialogue.
Communicating with each other, not at each other.
I think that's very essential. Not at.
When dialogue comes, when there is that mutual understanding that I want to reach out. And as I reach out, I'm not coming to tell you. I'm coming for us to listen to each other and probably look at that issue from our different point of views with a view of trying to get a solution. Okay. So dialogue is one of the techniques that is used in mediation, where two differing parties come together and they dialogue on a certain issue. There is another technique where a problem must be defined. Well, it must be defined for people to understand it better. Like what I told you earlier. If you look at a number 9 and you say it is 6, then we must define what is this.
Yeah.
We must define it.
Yeah.
So defining a problem that is bringing conflict is key, because it might not be a problem to a certain party, but it is a problem to that other party. But if it is well defined, then you solve a problem.
Yeah.
Because now you come from a point of understanding it better. The other point is you explore it. You explore because for you to solve a conflict, there are various methods of killing a cat. You can put it in a bag. You can poison it.
Yeah.
So in conflict resolution, the parties must open themselves out into various options that are there bare before them and how to solve this. And they must also find which is the best technique which is working for them. And when it works for them, it may not work for any other party.
Yeah.
It can only work for them. And therefore, in conflict resolution, we look and we excite the parties in looking at possible options because they are various. And maybe they have looked at one, like what we say, one possible option is go to before a magistrate.
Yeah.
That's a technique.
Yeah.
But it's not the only option. We must be open to various kind of options before us. The other thing is for the parties to look at a common goal. What excites them both? Like maybe even between nations. What is their goal? What brings them together? What is this that we can agree together, and we start there. So when the parties look at their common goals, like now maybe in a family, what are our common goals? We have children. What are our common goals? We want to have a future. Those goals must help us to develop a technique on how to stay together for that common goal that we have. Another thing is on the need basis. We must take care. One of the techniques is taking care of our needs. Because why are we differing? We must have our needs. I am interested on something which the other party I'm conflicting with is not giving me a conducive environment. So in developing a conflict resolution, we must take care of each party's needs. So that when they are taken care of, and sometimes we get a win-win situation, a win-win and a kind of an arrangement where your needs are met to a certain level and the other party's needs are taken care to a certain level. And everybody wins in such circumstance. And therefore, with that, we can resolute, even though we are disputing on some issues. When our needs are taken care of, then that technique is key in solving a conflict. That is key. That is key. I think now you can understand that there are various, both intrapersonal and also interpersonal conflict. They present to us different techniques of solving those issues.
So then what you're telling us is that before we go the legal way, it is important to explore many other avenues of conflict resolution.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, because we must also look at our needs, because you might use a technique that is very costly.
True.
To both of you.
Yeah.
And you might, a party might be saying, I must pursue this, solve my conflict through this way, which is very costly even to that party. So we must be open to different options of solving those conflicts.
All right. I think for our viewers that has been very well articulated. We have had the various methods of dispute resolution, and I hope we have taken note. So I said that was the biggest flesh of our discussion today. And I'll just ask a final question as we wrap up. Can conflicts be avoided?
Before I answer that, it is good to tell you, Vicky, that any problem is not a problem at all. A problem is a problem because of the way it is handled.
Okay.
It becomes a problem because of the method used by the parties to handle that problem. Again, conflict are areas of growth. And therefore, we always say that conflicts are inevitable. They will definitely come because we are different, we speak different languages, we have different backgrounds, we have different orientations, we have different exposures, we have different faiths, we have different, life altogether. And there is no one time people will be at the same level. Some people will be far away from you, higher, low, and therefore conflict are inevitable. The challenge is how do we handle our conflict, because we shall definitely face them in one way or another.
So we will definitely conflict with people.
Yes.
Wow.
But how do we handle that?
So the onus is on us to deal with that effectively.
Yes.
To understand the problem, appreciate that everybody has a different perspective,
Exactly.
and find the best solution.
Exactly.
All right. I think that's my closing for today. I don't even think there's anything more I can add. Maybe if there's
maybe I can close because we are in a church setup.
Yeah.
Ephesians 4, verse 15 is one of the verses that everybody should use because it talks about speaking the truth, but in love. And if everyone will understand that verse, that in any kind of a difference, any kind of a clash, any kind of conflict, people have the capacity to speak with, not at, with each other in love and speak that truth, which, if not done, brings in conflict. So we have a duty to speak to each other in love, the truth.
So speak the truth in love.
In love.
Okay. Thank you, Reverend, for taking us through the two segments. I think by now we have learned so much, especially as individuals. It's important to just also take time and reflect on those discussions at personal levels and see how we can utilize these pieces of information we have gathered. So I think that's all from JPRC for this week, 2025 JPRC week. We have had different segments, and we believe you've gathered enough tools and resources for the future. Thank you so much, and may our good God bless you all. Thank you.